So Fat Amy was in Pitch Perfect, your breakthrough role. Were you excited to play her a second time?
Yeah, I mean, the feedback from Pitch Perfect 1 was so positive, and people just really loved Fat Amy, to the point where when I played different characters in between the two movies, they were like, oh, we don't like her being serious. Like I had an American TV show in between, and they're like, we like Fat Amy. She's like very confident, very sassy, and it is such a fun character to play, and not that dissimilar to me in my real life. So it's kind of an easy character to play in that way.
Yeah, she's very strong. She's a very powerful character.
Yeah.
When you first read the script, what did you think about the way she was written?
I mean, I remember the writer being hesitant to send it to me because she thought maybe I'd get offended. But I actually played a character in Australia that I created called Fat Mandy that's online. You can look it up. I don't think there's anything offensive in it. It's kind of like, say, some people might not like to be called fat, but then if you reclaim that word and use it to your advantage, there's nothing negative about it.
Yeah, do you think it's important to show on TV or in movies plus-size characters or fat characters for young people to see them?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very interesting that our group is called the Bellas because, you know, in Italian it means beautiful, and we're actually all different shapes and sizes in the movie, and yet we're all Bellas, like we're all beautiful, and we kind of celebrate that in the film, and it's all girl power, which I think is a really nice message. I know when I was starting out being an actress, people looked at me and they didn't think, like, I didn't look like an actress to them, but I'm like, well, I'm just as talented as those other girls, and you know, I'm more about what's up here than what's here. But it's so good, I think, that Hollywood has embraced me so quickly and so lovingly. I feel really lucky.
Yeah. Do you think maybe fat actresses are just playing like the fat funny girl? Do you think it's something happening in Hollywood?
I mean, obviously, there's actresses like, Melissa McCarthy is a real inspiration to me. In comedy, you have to use what you have. So if you've got a huge nose or a really skinny head or, I don't know, or if you're overweight or underweight, or you have to use what you've got physically. All great comedians, if they're, you know, a lot of male comedians, they're really short or they're really tall, and you've got to use your physicality in comedy. I think sometimes it's easier for plus size actresses to make it in comedy, just because there's like a history of some plus size women doing really well in that area. But there's also brilliant dramatic actresses who are larger as well. It might be a little bit harder at the start, I think, but then if you make it, people tend to look past that.
Yeah.
Your physicality and just see for your acting talent.
Yeah, sure. What was your favorite musical performance of that movie?
I was impressed with my ability to do the aerial stunts, and I trained for 5 weeks with a coach from Cirque du Soleil, and I didn't, because at one point I have to physically lift my own body weight, and it was difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get the momentum in the little routine, it was only a 40-second routine, and I trained for 5 weeks to be able to do it.
Wow.
And it was a challenge that I really enjoyed. I never thought I would be doing anything acrobatics, especially hanging in the air. I'm a little bit afraid of heights.
Okay.
So I was really proud of myself for pulling off that routine. I think it's such a flashy opening to the movie.
This one is on Wrecking Ball, the music.
Yeah.
Would you sing it a bit for us? Of Wrecking Ball?
I came in like a wrecking ball. Woo! I haven't even warmed up today. Yeah.
It was
still
perfect.
early.
Okay, thank you. I think it's over. So you were playing in the first movie, but now you're directing the second Pitch Perfect. What differences did you see between the two movies? I thought the first one was more like of a team movie, and the second one was way more mature and very different.
Yeah, I think you're really you've hit it. You know, one of the things The first movie I think is really relatable to a lot of people because of the team element. It's really, it doesn't matter that it's about a cappella. It could have been about anything, baseball, soccer. It's just about that team of misfits that needs to work together to win. And this time around, we really felt like we had already established that they were great, that they were a great group, and we wanted to delve more into this transitional moment in their lives. They're really becoming adults. They have to graduate college. They have to go into the big bad world. They have to get jobs for the first time. What does that mean when you break up the group, when you don't have the security of your friendships every day for each person? And I think everybody deals with it in a different way. And we did want the movie to be a little more mature, a little older. We wanted to introduce real adults into the world.
Yeah, sure. That's exactly how I felt that.
Good.
You played in the first movie and in the second movie as Gail. How is it different to play a part, but this time as being a director? Is it different?
No, it's not that big of a deal to direct myself in the film. I set all the scenes with a stand-in, and I have a lot of trust in my DP and in my producing partners to sort of decide. But you can feel when something's working. I work very closely with John Michael Higgins. We've been friends for a long time, so those scenes come very naturally to us. And I think once we sort of had it set and settled, it was actually kind of flowed pretty easily.
Yeah, sure.
It was more difficult to have to spend the time in the hair and makuk chair. I couldn't find any time to do that. I was spending my lunch hour and getting
Gail
ready.
has such amazing
crazy hair.
Yeah. You have played many, many, many roles in cinema, and mostly like the kind of stereotyped female roles. Was it difficult then to become a female director and be taken seriously?
No, I was taken really seriously. I had a great crew, so much trust, and I mostly worked with people that I had worked with before in the past. I had very few totally new people. So I think that helped as well. Just people knew me. They knew to take me seriously.
Yeah, sure. And do you have any other projects in directing that gave you the idea of directing anything else?
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'd like to act again. And I am actively looking for something else to direct. I think this is a real representation of my personality, my sense of humor, my feminism. And I'd like to find something to do that I can inject those same qualities into again.
Okay, maybe a Pitch Perfect third?
Maybe. We'll see. We're focused on putting this one out to the world, and then we'll see if audiences embrace it, and if they do, we'll talk seriously about what to do next.
Yeah, sure. In college, were you part of a group, like an a cappella band or something like that?
No, I was in a theater group. We did musical theater, so I'm familiar for sure. Really, though, the experience that is the most similar is I was in a sorority. So I lived in a house full of women and created those bonds. And, when we were leaving, it was all about the sort of legacy that we were leaving behind. And I loved that notion. I loved the notion that the Bellas in this movie have to think about, like, the future of the group and what they're leaving, and also, what the legacy that they've already joined, all these women that came before them.
Okay. Thank you.